Hey, welcome to episode 74 of Awkwardly Awesome Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Freeman. I'm a perseverance coach and professional speaker who ironically has a speech impediment. But even more than that, I love listening to people and bringing out the best in them. Today, I have a guest with a super powerful story. Or at least I thought I had a guest with a super powerful story. But we have a plan for us to meet in StreamYard and so far he hasn't come. I ho- I hope I hope I hope I deeply hope that Mark is okay. And maybe he'll show up and I'll bring him on. Maybe he'll message me on LinkedIn, which is the only way I have of getting hold of him. Maybe I should get people's cell phone numbers. But anyway, this is so what life is. Sometimes I mean, we make the best plans for like, hey, we have all our ducks in the row and things are going perfectly and then something happens and something changes. And I mean, I have no idea what has changed in Mark's world that he's not here at the moment. Hopefully it was just a miscommunication. The best thing would be a mistake on my end that 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 I could just laugh about it, way to blog about it, apologize for Mark, apologize to Mark about it, and we could all move on. And I'm also hoping that he just suddenly shows up here. But he hasn't yet. Do you have these moments in your life where you just don't know quite what to do next? I mean, I hope I would know exactly what to do right now. After all, I'm an author, whatever author of Awkwardly Awesome, Embracing My Imperfect Best. I've done a TEDx talk. I've spoken to over 100 audiences. I have 2 college degrees and a Master of Fine Arts in poetry. And still, I don't know what to do next. I I want to honor this time because I do a podcast every week. That's what's all set up, and I want to be able to give you all great content. And the fact is that my guest isn't here, and I don't know where the mix-up was, or if I mean I just don't know. There's a million possibilities about why my guest is not here, and I just don't know. Brent Wilcox says, I'm here sending love and support, Jason. I'm sorry for the challenges with your planned speaker today. I hope everything is okay. Thank you so much, Brent. Thanks for this, and and thanks for the love and support, and I hope everything's okay too. And and this is occurring at the moment. And how often when a challenge is occurring, do we just want to either hide and not face it, or get all upset and blame, blame either someone else, or for me, I'm more likely to blame me. I go, how did I not do something other that would have prevented this outcome? But either way, if we cast blame outwards towards other people, or inwards towards ourselves, blame is blame, and it doesn't focus on the solution. And in the best I can do now, please message me if you have any other ideas, is check LinkedIn messages occasionally. Nope. And then just go on and give the best content I can in an hour. So in another perspective for a time like this is to ask yourself the question, how can I make the best of this right now? How can I make the best of this right now? So often when the unplanned comes into our lives, we ask why me, questions like when will the other shoe drop? And then stuff like, or else we get angry, like I shouldn't have to deal with this, and oh my gosh. But what about asking the question, how can I make the best of this? And yes, this took me so many years to start asking this question with my speech impediment and coordination differences. I was focused on the other questions, but asking the question, how can I make the best of this, allows not only me to live my best life, but allows me to exude that energy out to other people. In the old days, before I was asking how can I make the best of this, this would have been a nightmare for me. I would have just probably said I'm not going to do this. My guest didn't show up. I'm worried about that. Well, goodbye. But now with the question of how can I make the best of this, um, I'm going to keep talking, and I'm going to keep hoping that Mox is all right, and I'm going to keep hoping that Mox suddenly appears in the green room, and that I can bring him on and celebrate his amazing story. And his amazing story is this. I'll give you a preview. He was diagnosed with lung cancer, prostate cancer, and bone cancer. And instead of being miserable, entirely miserable about his life and asking why me, he's on a mission to inspire others to live every day to the fullest, and he's so inspiring. And I just still don't know where he is at the moment, and hopefully he's off somewhere being inspiring. So if someone has another comment, please chime in and give me something to talk about. Like even a question would be great. So I'm noticing that I'm feeling good in my body at the moment. I feel good in my stomach and my chest, and good in my head. I mean, even though things aren't going the way I have planned in the least, I feel good. And feeling good is one of the keys to persevering. Like, we all want to get places in life. We I mean, unless we're in a wandering phase of life, in a figuring it out phase of life, we all want to get places, and that can become a struggle because there's challenges between us and getting to where we want to go. But the struggle lessens immensely if we learn how to relax. If we teach ourselves how to relax, if we find our secret sauce that helps us relax, and I don't mean a secret sauce. Like I don't need a secret sauce. I already sound like I'm hammered. I mean a secret sauce in terms of in terms of for me it's meditation. Oh, oh, ooh, and it was me who screwed up. It was me who screwed up. I gave Mark the wrong link. I gave Mark the wrong link. So Mark's going to be on momentarily here. Oh, but to do this, I have to get out of here. Shit. Oh shit. Oh, whoops. I'm just trying to think, how do I do this? Can I open up another stream yet? Oh yes, I can. I can. No, I don't. Okay. So this is not. This is not cool. Um. Okay. Please. Okay. I'm. Okay. I'll be back. Okay. Okay. Hopefully we'll getting marked soon here. And there's See, I had two links in my StreamYard, and I gave Mark the wrong one. So hopefully now he's clicking on the right one. This is really strange. Okay, this is not. This is Can I talk to you? Okay. Mark, please check your LinkedIn. Please check your LinkedIn. And Okay, I need to get people's phone numbers. This is awful. Okay. Okay. We're getting that, people. We're getting that, people. Okay. Okay. I'm typing. Please. Oh, he's not on here though. Shoot. Okay. So sometimes I like this. Sometimes I like this. What the? No, he's not here. Mark, please check your LinkedIn. Please. Linked. Okay, maybe he'll get that. Okay, maybe he's here. No. Oh, I can post comments. This is, yeah, so you're seeing Jason try.
Here we go.
So Mark, I so apologize. So I have two podcasts in StreamYard, and I sent you the wrong link. So you were on the opposite link, and I was on this one.
No problem, Jason. Let's make it work. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was sitting there for quite some time, but no problem. Let's make it work and let's do it.
So this is like the not the segue we were planning, but a perfect segue. So Mark, sometimes in life, really unexpected things happen.
Like what just happened.
Yeah, exactly like what just happened, and you've been dealing with some unexpected things in the last few years. So how can we humans cope better when unexpected things occur in life, which they keep doing?
You know, just like what just happened right now, you just adjust and adapt. You know, I never expected cancer to happen in my life, and that's the thing about it. As people, we need to be able to, adapt and adjust. And when there's something like cancer, people have to be ready to move quickly. And so
Mm.
I've been battling cancer now for going on 17 months, and I have a lot more clarity now, as opposed to a year ago January, when things were happening, and I met with my oncologist, and my oncologist, after going through a bunch of tests, my oncologist looked at me and said, "Your cancer is so bad that I can't cure you." So I said, "Okay." She kind of looked at me kind of strange, and I said, "Okay." But in my mind at that point, I was ready, because I had been going through all these tests, and you don't go through all these invasive tests, without some kind of an idea that, hey, something's not right. Because I've gone through uh, CAT scans, MRIs, biopsies, bone biopsies, lung biopsies, scans, uh, X-rays, you name it. I've probably done it. And so,
So let's back up a little bit. So how did you know first, like, that you needed to go into the doctor at the very beginning of this journey of all the tests?
no, that's a good question. What happened was um, the pandemic hit, and prior to the pandemic, I was working out, 4 or 5 times a week, and I was in really good shape. I'm 63 years old right now.
So
Uh,
so before we go forward, describe that a little bit. Describe your life before all of this just a little bit.
okay. Uh, I was, living my life. I have 2 kids that are grown, working out 4 to 5 times a week. And I was under the impression that, my diet was good. I was a vegan at that time. And so, I was just living life. Uh, and as I describe it myself, I was sleepwalking through life, and not really understanding and appreciating what life is really all about. And so I was just waking up each day, and taking each day and living the day, and going on to the next. And so it was very um, unknowing. I would best describe it as not really knowing. And once I got my diagnosis, I went into my action mode, and I really started acting on the things that I had thought about, in order to get well. And that's been my focus from day one. Was I was not going to let the oncologist diagnosis, affect me. I know what she said. She said she couldn't cure me. That's okay. The doctors, what really gets to me, and I see it every day, all the time when I go to the facilities, when I go to the hospitals, people are given diagnoses, and these doctors, they don't know, they're just making a reasonable guess. But the problem is people take that to heart, and so some people, they'll get a diagnosis of, oh, you have 3 months to live, or you have 6 months to live, and they take it to heart and they put it in their mind. And so many people only live to the amount that their doctor has said, and I don't buy that at all. I never
How,
bought that.
how did you start to separate yourself from the energy of the diagnosis?
Oh, it was that's a really good question. I started separating myself before I even met with my oncologist for the diagnosis. Uh, I mean, in my mind, the most important thing for me was I'm going to get well, period. And that's the only thing I believed from day one, is I am going to get well, I'm going to get healthy, and I'm going to get back to living the way that I once did, only with a totally different mindset. And so it was just something that was just born in me. And so when I got my diagnosis, I immediately started to, move towards getting well, and without realizing what an incredible journey it would be. And
Mm,
so I started reaching out to cancer patients and cancer survivors, and I started forming my network for cancer. And so that's been a tremendous blessing. And I've been, every day I decided that no matter what, no matter what happens that particular day, I was going to be positive about it, and I was going to be uh, optimistic. And I went through so many invasive medical procedures last year that it was the only way to do it. Take it one day at a time. I am so thankful to open my eyes every single day, uh, because we are so blessed. And I'm so thankful to walk outside my door,
mm,
and look at the sky, and
mm.
look at the trees, and just appreciate uh, how beautiful life is. And so that's um, been my focus from day one, and it's really served me well, and I've been very blessed.
So even before you knew the diagnosis, or way before it, when you started feeling sick, you just started telling yourself, "I'm going to focus on being well."
Not yes and no. Because of the way it happened, what happened was uh, I was working out 4 to 5 times a week, and when the pandemic hit, I wasn't able to go to the gym,
Mm,
and I'd work out for, when I was going to the gym, I'd work out for an hour and a half every single time. And so once the pandemic hit, I wasn't able to go to the gym, and I started feeling the effects of not working out hard all the time, and I started feeling um, aches and pains. But what happened was my right leg got very tight, and it got to the point where um, I couldn't walk. There was
mm,
a period I couldn't walk for a couple of days, and my wife, had to wheel me around, and so I knew something was just not right. And so initially went to my doctor, and he treated me, and so I was able to get up and walk very slowly. But at that particular time, I knew that I had to really do a deep dive and get tested and find out what is really going on. And that was the start of the journey, was to find out what's exactly happening. And and so that's led me to all sorts of things. There's Alex.
Hey, thanks for being with us, Alex, from Ohio. So, I mean, at first you were very much in the unknown. Like, all you knew is that you really couldn't. You knew you had been very active, working out 4 5 times a week, and then suddenly you couldn't walk. What originally went through your head when you noticed that you couldn't walk?
Just confusion, and I knew I had to get down to the bottom of it, and I knew I had to find out what's wrong, because there was just something really, really wrong, and it's something I never experienced at all. And that particular first trip to the doctor, I couldn't even walk from the car to the office, and they had to bring out a wheelchair, and so that's what happened, was you know taking that step to go to the doctor. And once things started getting in motion, then I started to realize that this is something really, really life changing and big. And so that's the approach that I took. I started getting tested and started going to doctors, and I started being referred to all sorts of doctors, and that's what happened. But what was most important to me was um, having a positive attitude the whole time, and to I made a promise to myself that every single day, no matter how I felt, I was going to be positive. I was going to wake up and be thankful, and be ready for a new day, because at that point and I still am. I am so thankful for every single day, because we are not guaranteed, uh, even this afternoon. We're not guaranteed our night. We're not guaranteed anything. And so I started appreciating every single day, because I was so sick at one point that I couldn't leave my room for 6 weeks. I didn't leave my
Wow.
room at all. And it took me 10 minutes to walk across the room, and it took me 20 minutes to take a shower. And so when you're battling all these things that you just take for granted, uh, I don't take it for granted now. Not at all. Every step I take is with a purpose. Um, I'm fortunate now that I can walk. I do have restrictions with my right leg, but I don't use a cane anymore, which I used for well over a year. So I'm making progress, but I still have a ways to go, and I'm just so thrilled to be here, to be honest with you.
It must be so great to be walking and seeing improvements.
Yes,
Must be so great.
absolutely.
Um, and the reason we're talking today is
Hi,
because
Tim.
I saw you on Tim and Kaz showing up perspectives on cancer, and I was so inspired by your story. So thank you, Tim and Kaz.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. Thank you, Kara.
So 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 how can us humans begin to get the awareness you have now of the sacredness of life, of the beauty of each step,
You
of
know,
the magic before something big happens. How can we wake up without a huge challenge?
you know, I'm going to kind of go back a little bit and kind of lay out some more of my journey,
Please,
if you don't mind. Okay, so
no, I would love. I know very little about you, so
okay, so what happened was I started formulating a plan, and I started executing the plan, and so I set out in order to do certain things. I knew what I wanted to do, and number
you
one,
mean as a young person you did?
no, not, and this is as soon as I got my diagnosis and
Oh,
I
okay, got it,
knew what I wanted to do,
got it.
and instead of being negative and being down, I wanted to do the total opposite, and so uh, it started, with bringing my family in closer, and then uh, reaching out to friends and connecting with new connections, and I thank LinkedIn for a lot of the connections that I have, such as yourself and Tim and Kara in their show, showing up perspectives on cancer, which I think is a fantastic live stream, and they do a fantastic job.
Yeah,
I'm so thankful to them. Um, but what happened was I set out my plan moving forward, and I wanted to uh, execute something different than what everybody else was going. So instead of feeling sorry for myself, there was none of that. I said, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I had maybe an hour where I was like, why me? But then I
maybe an hour. Wow.
then I realized that God doesn't put things in front of us that we can't handle, and so
Mm,
that's the assumption that I took from the beginning, and I accepted it. I said, okay, I have cancer, just guide me to where I need to go. And so
mm,
that's what's happened is
mm.
um, I've been guided, and I started off, and I had so many friends and family that reached out to me and wanted to talk to me and find out what's going on, and I'm so thankful for that. And but what was happening was it was taking a lot of time. And so every day I start up, wake up, and I get on the phone, and I'd be on the phone with each person for a half an hour to an hour apiece. And when you break down your day, that's your whole day. And I was spending whole days talking to friends and family, and I really appreciate their concern. But it was getting to the point after a week, I said, man, this is killing me. And this is this is this is just too much. So I was talking to my daughters and my sister, and they suggested getting a Caring Bridge site, which I have, and which has taken a tremendous burden off of me, because it allowed me to post my situation, uh, current situation, and early on I was posting a lot because every day there was something going on, and so that took a tremendous burden off of me right off the bat. And then I started thinking, and I started talking to my daughter Lisa, and I said, I would really like to start a YouTube channel, and
Mm.
because I think I could offer insight and help to people on that are on cancer journeys. And then I started thinking further, and I said maybe I could help to inspire people to appreciate their life and appreciate their health and appreciate, all the incredible things that life has to offer. And so that I said, man, I have to do that. And I've been guided to do that. And I'm so thankful that we started a YouTube channel to be your own hero. And in the channel, I share my cancer journey, but I also look to inspire people to not to sleepwalk through life and appreciate life and to have a positive mindset. And so it's just been really, really amazing because I started off and I knew I was going to start off with nothing. And as time went on, I started getting, a nice comment once a week. And then that went from once a week to every few days. And then from every few days to every day. And now it's like quite a few a day. And so that's been very, very rewarding. But what's most important to me is if I could help someone or people. And what's my goal this year is to bring people together. And our world is so uh, divisive and so there's so much going on. And with the war in Ukraine, I pray every day for those people and for their safety. And I want to do my share to help bring people together and to help make this world a better place because we all deserve it. And if we all do something, even if it's just one person, making one person's day better, then we can all work together and make this world a better place. And that's where I am today.
And you forgot to mention that on your YouTube channel, you're also interviewing nurses and, and different people about and bringing knowledge together in different voices, and it's so powerful what you're doing.
I mean, I really enjoy it, and I'm so thankful that people such as Alex, who's in the room, I've interviewed Alex, and I've interviewed nurses and doctors. I just posted a video about a great interview with an amazing doctor and patients and survivors and family members who have survived, caretakers. So it's just been really, really amazing. And I'm so thankful for, I wouldn't wish cancer on anyone. And uh, but that being said, if it wasn't for cancer, I wouldn't have my perspective I do today. And so I'm thankful for cancer for allowing me to see what's really, really important in life. And what's important to life to me is the relationships that we have and the people that we meet and the people that we can help and the people that come into our lives. And so that's just been so incredible for me, and I'm so thankful for it. And to people such as yourself and Tim and Alex and all the people that I also have a Clubhouse room on the Clubhouse app called Cancer Conquering Community, and we hold that every Thursday, and it's at 12 p.m. Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and it's a place where cancer survivors, cancer patients, doctors, nurses, anybody interested in cancer can come and just share openly. And we always say that it's a really safe place to come and share. And we've had some just incredible things happen in our room. So yeah, if anybody who sees this wants to come down, you're more than welcome. And if you have any questions about it, message Jason or myself, and be happy to get you the information.
It's so powerful. What you're saying, so part of your journey with cancer is it only being positive and for yourself and thinking I can do this, I can heal, I can but it also sounds like you're really thinking about how you can spread positivity in your community with your YouTube channel, with Clubhouse, with prayers for Ukraine. So I mean, I think so often when people, and I know this has happened to me, when people experience change and challenge and in what some might call really tough situations, they tend to contract and go inward. But instead, you're moving your energy out. Can you say more about the feeling that gives you to be able to move your energy?
Yes, and I'm going to take you back to uh, a few years ago. My sister, Diane, and she's passed now. She's been passed for about 3.5 years from cancer. And she pretty much gave me the blueprint of what
Hmm.
the opposite of what I was going to do. She kept to herself, uh, and she was just a incredibly wonderful person. Um, but she had, she was always said that she was very private. And so she had cancer, and her diagnosis was, uh, when we heard it at the worst, she had cancer from one hip to the other hip, and
Oh.
up through her chest.
Hmm.
And so uh, it was really, really a tough time because she didn't want to see anyone, and so her brothers and sisters, we had to beg just to see her. And we knew that things were very dire, and so we, after begging and begging and begging to see her, she finally agreed to it exactly a week before she passed. And it just left an impression on me like no other, because when I saw her, she was, in a hospital bed, and she was basically just what was a skeleton with some skin hanging on her. It was just uh, it was frightening. It was really, and it left an impression on me like no other. So at that time, I told myself, if I ever got cancer, I'm not going to do it this way.
Hmm.
I'm going to do it my way, a totally different way. And I'm so thankful uh, that I learned that from my sister. So that's where it originally came from.
So, in a way, your sister living her experience help has helped you profoundly to try your own course.
Yes, yes. I am so thankful for her direction, um, because I in my heart I knew that uh, I knew, and I still know that I'm going to get well. And I was originally diagnosed with prostate, bone, and lung cancer, stage 4, and that's when the oncologist said, she couldn't cure me. So, moving forward to today, I actually just met with my oncologist yesterday, and my lung cancer is pretty much healed, and my prostate cancer, I'd have to say, is healed. We got some great test results, and so that's looking real good. And then my bone cancer, I got a scan. In fact, I'm going to be having some more scans done in about I think about a month and a half or so, or 2 months. But on my last scan, which is about 2 months ago, we were concerned on the prior scan that the bone cancer was metastasizing, but my scan 2 months ago showed that it had stopped metastasizing. So I've been concentrating on my bone cancer, and it's working. So everything's looking very positive and in the right direction, which I'm absolutely thrilled about.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's so wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so thankful, and I'm so blessed to keep fighting and keep getting better. What's been fascinating to me is just how slow the progress is. But if I look back, I look back on some of my earlier YouTube videos, and I was really, really, really weak when I started my YouTube
Mm.
channel. I was, in fact, when I started, I weighed about 123 pounds, and I just got weighed yesterday, and I got to lose some weight, but I weigh 160 pounds now. And so there's been, tremendous progress as far as that goes. I've been so fortunate. When I
Mm.
started the journey, I have friends that are nutritionists, and they help me. I changed from being a vegan and started adding. I added salmon, wild caught salmon, organic grass-fed beef, and also thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. Tim says you look healthy, so and thank you,
And you do. You look so healthy.
thank you. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, because uh, people look at me and they think, I've had people tell me you look well, and I'm well in a lot of respects, but I'm still battling several things uh, associated with cancer. But compared to when I started, I'm eons beyond that point. So
So the 17 months has really been a journey of transformation.
yes, absolutely.
Oh, I guess more than 17 months. How many months has it been? Like when did you start noticing the pain in your legs? And
Well, I still have issues with my leg. It's got
but I mean, how many months ago did you start noticing the first indications that your normal life was about to change?
it was I didn't start seeing results until um the summer of 2021. So probably like in July, I started noticing that, I was putting on weight, and I started uh, being able to move around better. So it took a long time for the results to start happening, and I'm still I try to exercise every day. Uh, Not where I was, but I use weights. And when I first started off, a 1 pound weight was as much as I could handle, and now I'm walking around with 7 pound weights, and so it's been. Whereas before I used to use a lot heavier weights, I had to start off from the bottom and accept that in my mind, which I did, and it's I'm slowly getting better and slowly, making progress. So I'm thrilled about that.
Wow. Wow. Do you, I mean, I made a mistake. At the sending you the wrong link. Do
No
you
problem.
have like, could we go to 20 past the hour?
Oh yeah, sure. We can go back. We can go as long as you want, Jason.
Oh,
What?
cool. So I just wanted to make sure you were okay with,
Oh
and
yeah, whatever you want to do. I'm
okay, great, thank you. Tim says that he met his oncologist yesterday too.
Oh, that. Did you have good news, Tim?
Yeah, please be typing in the chat if you're still here, Tim.
Yeah,
So,
it was interesting because my oncologist and I have evolved, and we were joking about it yesterday, and she she, she always she knows now that uh, when we first got together, she and I butted heads like crazy, and because she's so used to people just saying, "Oh, okay, whatever you say, doc," and I was never like that. I was saying, "What would you like to do?" And I'm going to take that and I'm going to research it. She was so frustrated with me, but then she realized that I was so serious about getting better, and
hmm,
she realized uh, that I'm gonna do it a different way, and so for instance, she prescribed that I go through 6 rounds of chemotherapy. So I asked her, "What kind of chemo do you want to use?" And she looked at me and she said, "Okay, it's called Taxotere." And so I took that and researched it and found out information about it. There are 30 to 40 different types of chemotherapy, which I
wow,
did not know. And I didn't know anything about chemotherapy. I thought walked in a room and they and they buzzed you with some kind of uh, radiation or X-ray or something like that, and then you just left. And so I've learned so much about the whole process. And my the first time that I got chemotherapy done, what they do is uh, they have you on an IV and you're there for hour and a half. Yeah, I was there for hour and a half, 2 hours each time, and I never understood about it. You don't know what it's like to get chemotherapy until you actually do it. And so I was working with a compound lab at that time, and they said, with our products, you're going to be okay going through chemotherapy. So the very first round of chemotherapy that I had, I went in there and I went through it, and I tell you, I was so sick for
hmm,
4 days. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is awful. I mean,
hmm,
it's like being on a high that you don't want to be on and
hmm,
you can't get rid of it. And it's
hmm,
just all day long and when you sleep, and it was just a miserable feeling. So I went back to the lab and I said, I mean, when is your product going to work? Because it sure is not working right now. And so he said, be patient. After the second round, you're going to be fine. And so I told myself, man, if I go through the second round and it's as bad as the first round, I'm done with chemotherapy.
wow,
Fortunately, I went through the second round and I was completely fine, which that's what the lab told me I was going to be. And so from rounds 2 through round 6, I was totally fine. And so I was very, very fortunate because I know people have gone through chemotherapy and been sick every single time. So I am thankful that, I had that lab I was working with that took care of me in that respect. So it's just a matter of there's just so much going on all at once when you're a cancer patient. And, I see when I go to the facilities or if I go to the hospital and I see people, I have such compassion for them because I know what they're going through or something similar. Uh, but I look in their eyes and I just feel for them because everybody's going through something different and everybody handles it in a different way. And so I just wish that, everybody, uh, I hope, you know, has the wherewithal and the fortitude to, be able to go through these difficult procedures because they are difficult. And the way I've been asked many, many times, what do you do to, when you go through these procedures? And I've gone through so many different things that, what I tell people is what I do is I meditate and I pray. And I do that, one particular procedure, which I'm not going to share here because it's just it's bad. But anyway, uh, in the waiting room when I was waiting for the doctor, I just meditated and I prayed and I got myself in such a trance-like state that when the doctor got in, I was like groggy and so I said, go ahead and let's do the procedure. And the interesting thing about that particular time was uh, that was a procedure I'd gone through before, and it was tremendously painful. But the second time that I went through it, by preparing my mind through meditation and through prayer, the second time it was like fine. I went through the procedure and it was done before I knew it. And so I realized, I thought, wow, that's pretty amazing. And so I've just learned along the way, along the path, how to deal with things. And, I never dwell on yesterday. Never. It's just yesterday's done. You can't change yesterday. And what you focus on is today and look forward and be excited about it. And that's what I do.
Speaking of being excited, Tim has an amazing question. How do you celebrate your cancer wins?
That's a good question. How do I celebrate cancer wins? I celebrate every single day because to
Hmm.
me, every single day is a cancer win. I am just so thankful every single day, every single second. In fact,
Hmm.
my co-host Linda Sherman on Cancer Conquering Community, and I stole this from her, but she says she's thankful for every single breath. And
Hmm.
so I started thinking about it. I said, yeah, that's absolutely right. So I am thankful every single breath, every single day. It's just, and I constantly try to remind myself, and I remind myself when I walk out my front door every single day. I look out, no matter if I'm busy or not. I take that 1 second to be thankful for being able to go outside my door because there was a time when I didn't go outside for weeks. And so I know what that's like. And so that's how I celebrate my cancer wins, is just every single day. I'm just so thrilled and happy and thankful.
Wonderful. Appreciation and being grateful is so powerful. Before we go past this moment, I wanted to ask you, how do you meditate? What works for you?
Well, actually, that's a great question. That's a great question. What I've been working, there are so many things that I've incorporated into my journey. And one of the things that I've incorporated into my journey is hypnotherapy. And I work with a hypnotherapist. Her name is Maria Motia from Cyprus. Uh, and she's amazing. And I
From
have
like Cyprus in Europe?
near Greece. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And so, and I met her through LinkedIn. And so what she has done for me is she's helped me to explore the subconscious mind. And she's made audio tapes for me, which I listen to every day. And it's what she's done is she's put in their positive affirmations. And so I listen to it before I go to sleep and when I wake up. And so it refreshes my mind. And what's amazing is I've heard these audio tapes numerous times, and yet I get in a trance like state, and I hear things that I hadn't heard before. And so I use that, I carry that when I do need to meditate. Those are the kind of things that I kind of draw back on. It is the things that I've worked on with Maria as far as hypnotherapy. So I know how to put myself in that kind of a state, doing it twice a day. It's easy for me to transfer that into different situations.
So when you meditate, you focus on these positive ideas.
Yes, yes, completely.
Wow.
It's all about being positive. I I don't ever try to dwell on anything negative. Negative things happen. They happen. That's life. That's why we're human. But we if we can, uh, we are our own programmers of our own personal computer, and we
Mhm.
are the computer programs of our mind, and we have the ability to allow uh, positive thoughts, to allow negative thoughts or whatever thoughts to come in. And so many people are so concerned about what they put in their body as far as food, and I definitely am. And I follow a very strict regimen of diet, but I also follow a very strict regimen of what goes into my mind every single day. And that's so important to me. And I always watch what I put in my mind, and there's things that go in that I tend to need to cleanse, and so that's where the audio tapes come in and reinforce the positive thinking. So that's what I do on a daily basis.
Wow. Wow. Powerful. In your family has been really involved in your healing journey, huh?
Yes, I'm so thankful for my family, my wife Beth. uh, she stepped up to the plate immediately and helped me. And when the interesting thing about cancer, Jason, is it doesn't give you time to prepare. I mean, it just shows up on your doorstep, and you have to act and you have to move because time is of the essence. And so I am so thankful for my wife Beth, who stepped up immediately and started getting me things that I needed, um, and then my daughters Lisa and Tani. Lisa came out last summer from New York. She and her husband John traveled the United States, and she came out and spent 2.5 months helping to take care of me, because when you're a stage 4 cancer at your worst points, you are going to need help. And I needed help. And because I couldn't prepare food for myself, and I couldn't, everything that we normally take for granted, I had a hard time with. And so Lisa, she came and she stayed 2.5 months with me, and she prepared my food, and she helped me to create my YouTube channel, To Be Your Own Hero. And she helped, along with my daughter Tanya and my sister Julie, help create my Caring Bridge site. And so what's interesting is looking at yourself. Once you get your diagnosis of you have cancer, you have to look in the mirror and accept that you're a different person. You may be the same person mentally, but physically, you have to look in the mirror and accept, hey, I am not that same person. I can't do what I used to do, and be willing to accept the new you, and accept you for who you are. And so that's not the easiest thing, especially for somebody who's used to being in control. And I've run a number of businesses, and so I'm used to being a certain way. And the flip side, people were used to me being who I was, now had to adapt and realize that, hey, he needs help. He is not the same person. And so there's a lot of things that happen in a cancer journey, and somebody who deals with cancer, and it all happens at one time. And so you have to be able to navigate this new situation quickly. And it's, people, there's always going to be people that um, want to take advantage of you. uh, and I got treated, by some people early on. They wanted to treat me the same way, and I wasn't. And so that dynamic was different, and people, not only me, but other people had to accept a new me as well.
And so it wasn't only a journey for you, but a journey for the people around you.
Absolutely. And that's the same case with anybody with a health situation, is the people
Mm.
around them are affected as well. And so that's been the fascinating thing about it, I'm so thankful that my family has come to help me in my situation, as well as friends. I mean, I had a, a large number of friends who reached out, and still to this day reach out, and I have some friends that still haven't heard that I even had cancer. So I'm just, yeah, really, really fortunate, and so happy about it.
So big question. Before you had this experience with cancer, how did you think of cancer versus from where you are today? How do you think of cancer now?
Wow. I didn't appreciate, uh because I didn't know. And like myself, most people don't know what it's like to have cancer. And so it's been a tremendous learning experience for me. and when you're actually living it and going through it, it's totally different. And that's the beautiful thing about connecting with other cancer patients and cancer survivors is immediately, I'm so thankful to LinkedIn and Clubhouse and Instagram and other social media sites. When I meet other cancer patients and survivors, it's like we're in this fraternity, and we immediately cut through the normal, getting to know you kind of thing, and you just immediately connect, and the rawness and the honesty that proceeds is just fascinating to me, and I'm so thankful for that aspect of it, to be able to connect. I've met so many people in my journey, and a number of people that I'm so proud to say that are my friends, um, that I've come in contact with, and I'm also so thankful to people such as Tim and Kara and yourself, Jason and Alex. I'm just very, very thankful.
And I'm thankful for you, all the people you're helping, and then I want to say you're really helping me too, because like my paternal grandmother had a brain tumor when I was in like sixth grade, and she passed, and so that's kind of was my predominant experience of cancer, and it was so scary, and I didn't understand it, and just a tough experience. But but it seems to me that people like you and Tim and Kara are really pioneers in creating a new understanding about what the experience of having cancer is. So that can be a much more positive focus as people go through cancer, and as a result much more happy and healthy outcomes.
I mean, I am totally. What's really interesting is, with all the cancer survivors and cancer patients that I meet, that there's kind of a similar theme through all these people, and the ones that are doing well, and these people, they have a positive attitude.
Positive
They
attitude.
they uh, believe in God, and they have faith, uh, and their outlook is just very optimistic, and
Mm,
they're we all have a drive to live, and to live our lives, and I look at, one of the things I do every day is I read, um, online. I read the my local paper, the Los Angeles Times, and one of the things I read every day is the obituaries, and I use that as a reminder to myself that I do not belong in there, and that
mm,
I am not going to be in there. And I admire people. I look at people's ages, and I see that they're 90 years old when they passed, and I intend
mm,
on a daily basis. It kind of gives me inspiration. I intend to be around a long, long time, and so that's what I use that for. Is is and this goes back to the characteristics, is people who I see that are making it, believe that they're going to make it, and they want to make it, and their drive to become healthy is so powerful, and that's those are the um, connecting themes that I see with the people that I meet all the time. Is just, and that's why I connect with people who have that attitude so well, is because we just have this powerful thing within us that we are going to live, and that we are going to make a difference, and that we want to help people as well. So that's kind of the theme.
A huge word that comes up for me as you say this is purpose.
Yes.
You really you exude purpose. Um, so often people who have the experience of being feeling miserable, like the options are like watching TV or reading a book, or which is fine, but I think people sometimes lose purpose when they confront significant health challenges, and you've definitely found a lot of purpose.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you're right, spot on, Jason. Um, I found my purpose.
Mm.
Me personally, uh, you know what was interesting was, prior to cancer, I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't understand what my purpose was, and you can't navigate towards your purpose unless you know what that is. And
Okay, drop the mic. I'm not literally dropping the mic because it's expensive, but you can't navigate towards your purpose if you don't know what your purpose is.
right.
Uh, uh, I mean, it makes sense, but it's also profound to hear it stated like that.
Well, it's very, very meaningful to me, because prior to cancer, I had no clue what my purpose was. I always wanted to give back to people, and I always wanted to do something, and I always wanted to um, make a difference, but I never had any idea or I had any clue. And it took a life changing experience and a disease like cancer in order for me to understand that and to find that. And I'm so thankful that I have found it, and that I have
Mm.
experienced it, because um, I knew that life, there was more to life than what I was living. And I knew, because I mean, I've been so blessed with to have an incredible family. um, and then my mother is still alive as well. In fact, she watches every one of my YouTube videos and always makes a comment. She's one of my biggest critics, but uh,
I love it. I love it.
everybody around me, my mother, my sister, my daughters, my wife, everybody's helped me, and I'm so thankful for it. And it's also opened my eyes and helped me to realize that what my purpose is, and what I can do to help this world, because this world needs uh, all of us to come together to make it a better place. And
Mm.
what you're doing, I love what you're doing. In fact, when I heard about it, I said, "Hey, absolutely, count me in." And people who can bring people together uh, play an important part in this world, because I go back to when I was a kid, and I used to go to camp every summer, and the thing that I always used to look forward to was, on the very last day, we used to have a tug of rope, uh, and half the camp would be on one side of the rope, and the other half would be on my side of the rope, and I always tried to make sure that I was on the stronger side, the better side. And that's what I try to do with my journey is I want as many people as I can get on my side pulling on the right side of the rope and to, help make our world better. And
That's a great image. That's a great image.
that's what it's all about to me.
So last few questions. So if someone's watching and they're like um they will like that kind of sleepwalking through life more than they would like to. What a few ideas you have on how we wake up?
Well, I think a lot of it is mindset, uh, having a positive attitude and embracing opportunity and appreciating health. They always say your health is everything, and it really, really
Mm,
is everything.
mm,
Because without your health, you can't fight. You can't, you know, battle out there, and so a person's health. I mean, I really appreciate that now because I really understand, what that means. Because, um, when you don't have your health, you are so limited. And I am so fortunate that my mind was never affected. And so, what was fascinating to me through my cancer journey is, when you don't have your health, uh, you could see things. Your other senses are accentuated, and that was fascinating to me because all of a sudden my mind was it just seemed to be sharpened and heightened. And I thought, wow, this is really, really kind of crazy, to experience this. My body was very, very weak, and yet my mind, it just seemed like it was getting stronger. And they say that, if you lose, for instance, you lose your sight,
mm.
your other senses are accentuated, and that's what happened to me. Is my mind just got stronger, and my will just got really, really strong. And so I was just bound and determined, as I am to this very day, to just uh, get better, to fight, to help people, and to really help people to see what they have and appreciate it.
So I ask all my guests this and last question before you repeat your great YouTube channel. But so I talk about the power of doing an imperfect best. And what that means to me is we focus on the best we want our lives to be, and then when imperfections come up, we use them as fuel to keep moving towards what we want. What does doing your imperfect best mean to you?
What does my imperfect best mean to me? I think every single day I open my eyes, and I'm kind of like, like, um, you remember the cartoon Alice in Wonderland? That's kind of like me. I kind of open my eyes, and I realize all this incredible stuff is around me. And every single day I want to take advantage of all these uh, amazing things around me, and so that's why people always ask me, why are you so darn busy? And I'm very, very busy every day. In fact, I keep my calendar schedule on my phone every single day. It's a laundry list of stuff that I've planned out from the day before, or a few days before, and so that's why I am so excited about every single day, because I have so many things that I want to accomplish, and I do the best to accomplish as much as I can every single day, because time, one of the things about our life, we're all going to die. We are all going to die, and I've accepted my own mortality, but at the same time, uh, I am thankful beyond belief to be able to experience each and every day. And I intend, uh, with each second, to take advantage of it, because that doesn't mean that I don't relax or anything like that, because we all need to relax. But I also feel that we all have to, um, accomplish and do as much as we can, uh, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. You can't replace time. Once time is gone, it's lost. And that's why I never focus on yesterday. I always focus on what's going to happen later today, and I focus on tomorrow, and I focus on the future. Back when a year ago in January, I was staring at all of these invasive medical procedures, and I could see that I set my first goal as to reach my birthday, which is in June, and I wanted to make my birthday, and I told myself that that would be the greatest birthday, just to be able to open my eyes on that day.
Mm,
And
mm,
so I opened my eyes on my birthday, and I was
mm,
so happy. I was so happy I reached my first
mm.
goal. And as the day went on, my daughter Lisa was there, and what my two daughters did, Lisa and Tani did, was they put together a video with family and friends wishing me a happy birthday, and that was spectacular. But they had a surprise for me, and my daughter Lisa was videotaping me while I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, what are you doing this for? And they had a special guest come on at the very end, and it was none other than Kevin Hart wishing me a happy birthday at the very end. And so that was like one of the greatest thrills. I mean, I was just stunned, because I had seen, my wife and I had been to his performances. We'd seen three of his performances front row center, and to have him wish me a happy birthday, it was just, I was just on cloud nine. I mean, it was amazing. And so I've been able to appreciate some just little things, and I appreciate so much, just the comments that people make, and and the wishes that people have left me, and so those are the kind of things that just really inspire me, and I am so thankful for all of that. So that kind of puts it in a nutshell.
Wow, Mark, thanks for being on the journey you're on, and for not only healing your own life, but helping so many other people heal in so many different ways, from maybe you say something that will help them go in the direction of further physical healing. Maybe you say something that helps them change their mindset, eat better. I mean, thanks for all you do to exude kindness, peace, and love in the world. I'm so inspired by you, and I could talk to you for many more hours because you're so powerful. Thanks so much for being on the Awkwardly Awesome podcast.
Oh,
And
thank you.
and and I invite my guests, please check out Mark's YouTube channel. It's in the comments notes. It's brilliant. You'll learn so much. So please check that out. Thank you, Mark.
Oh, thank you, Jason. I really appreciate you, and I think what you're doing is fantastic, and you do a great job. So my hat's off to you, Jason. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. This afternoon started off with me making a mistake. I sent Mark the wrong link, and he was on at the right time, and he's like, "Oh, where is Jason? Where the heck is Jason?" But he was patient, and I was patient, and then once we finally figured it out, what an exceptional interview. I mean, doesn't Mark his attitude help you? I know it helps me move in the direction I want to move, and I'm betting it helps you too. So I urge you to be patient when you go through uncertainties, and look through the positive, and look at how can the best come from this. How can the best come from this? Thank you for tuning in. Be back next week. And now the outro. If I find it. Okay. I still need to work on that. Making it smooth.